Alright, and then we're going to do that, and there we go. We got our basic energy cube. Phew! What a rabbit hole. Hello and welcome to another episode of Regrowth Reloaded. Okay, so today I want to finish up that one we were working on there in chapter 5. Let's go over to our book and let's take a look at that real quick. And that was chapter 5, What the World Enables. And we were up here in 42 Wallaby Way. Now, we did the first part where we got our air compressor base and top and the scuba tank. And now we need to get the scuba mask, the wetsuit, and the flippers. Now, we already made the wetsuit. So, we have to finish the scuba mask and the flippers. And the scuba mask, if you recall, was a black dye, yellow dye, and 2 plastic lenses. And the plastic lenses were made from 4 pieces of neoprene and transparent plastic. We've got tons of neoprene. The transparent plastic, though, was something along the lines of 1 piece of glass in 1 bucket of natural gas for 5 seconds will give us 1 piece of transparent plastic. And or you could do it with ethanol for 1.5 buckets of ethanol for 10 seconds. So what I did is I went ahead and I used the natural gas to do all this here. And this is the setup I had. I took my tank of natural gas, put it here, put an emerald fluid pipe here, connected it to one of the vats. I pulled them from upstairs. And then I hooked that up to an engine here. So let's go ahead and turn that on real quick. And you can see that it will pump the natural gas into the vat, and then you just put the items in there. Well, I went ahead and did all that so we wouldn't have to sit around here waiting for this stuff to do. So I did that with those, and also with the hard plastic that we needed for the flippers. Now the hard plastic in here was 4 limestone with 5 buckets of natural gas would give us 1 piece of hard plastic. So we had to do that 4 times to get the hard plastic. So in here we have the plastic lens and the let's see, transparent plastic, neoprene, black and yellow. So let's go ahead and put this piece together. Collect those. I was just making more dirt. There we go. We got our 2 lenses. There we go. One there, and there was black and yellow. And there we go. We've got our scuba mask. And then the last thing we need are the flippers, and those were 2 neoprene, 4 hard plastic, and 2 ink sacks. Let me see if I can remember how this one went. It was those like that, and like that. And there's our flippers. There we go. Now let's take a look. Does this complete the task? Looks like it does. And we get 8 rutile ore and 8 limestone. Let's see, does this complete this chapter for us? I don't see anything new in here. Chapter 5. No, we're at 96% complete. So there might be something hidden that we still have to open up a little later on. Alright, so let me go ahead and there's the wetsuit. We can go ahead and try this silly thing on just so you can see what it looks like here. So we need to go ahead and take off our TerraSteel armor. These go on the pants slot. Of course, those go on the feet. There's our scuba mask, and the scuba tank goes there. Alright, so let's see what we look like here. Alright. And you walk really slow in the flippers. except for backwards. That's kind of interesting. Oh well. Let's go ahead and get that off. Put our good stuff back on. Alright. And like I say, we're probably never going to use this. We've already done all of our underwater quests that I know of. So I'm just going to put this in here with the other scuba equipment in case we do need it. Alright. So that is that. So let's go upstairs and I'll show you a few more things here. Actually, let me put this stuff away real quick. That can be. There's that. Limestone goes in here. All right. And then we'll just go ahead and toss the root tile in here. Let that do its thing. All right, so I moved the laser over here, so it would open up a little bit more room here for me because I needed to get in here. Now, one of the things we talked about was making the ethanol, because I was debating using the ethanol for creating the plastic lenses and the hard plastic. So I went ahead and I did that just to make sure that it worked right. I wound up with 2 tanks of ethanol, which we're not going to use for anything that I know of. But let me show you how this works. So what I did was I hooked up the water pump to our fermenter. And then our fermenter in here, we have what is known as compost. Now this is not the compost that we make in those things over there. This is compost that is made up of dirt and wheat. So let's go ahead and make that real quick just to show you how it's done. So the dirt goes in the middle and the wheat surrounds it on all 4 sides like that. That gives you 4 pieces of compost, which you put into your fermenter here. And then this takes stuff like wheat. So let me go ahead and grab a stack of wheat, put that in there, and then this will start working. And what it does is the fermenter turns this into biomass, which then will get pumped over into this one here, the still, and the still converts the biomass into ethanol, which then pumps it up into this tank. Now, as you can see, we don't have any wooden engines connected to these tanks. Instead, I have here these basic gates. And these basic gates are autarkic gates, and they replace the engine. So if you look at this, it says here that there is space for fluid in here, essentially. Let me come back into this. If there's space for fluid, then it's going to do an energy pulse. So as long as there's space in here, it's going to keep pumping to try to put liquid into this one. And I have it set up the same way here. If there's space for fluid in the tank above, then to pulse the energy and just to drain the biomass or ethanol out of here and put it up into this tank. Pretty simple setup. Let me show you how to make the gates. So the gates themselves are here. Now, if I remember correctly, it is redstone and a redstone chipset. So you click that and it takes 100,000 RF to create a basic gate. So this is putting 120 RF a tick into the assembly table. And once it reaches 100,000 RF, it will create the basic gate for us. So let's go ahead and let that do it real quick, since it's going along fairly fast. And we're almost there. And once it's done, then it starts over again with that. So let's go ahead and stop that, and we can look in here. And there's our basic gates. I made a bunch of them. Next thing we want to do with the basic gate is you also need to make it pulse. You need to use a pulsating chipset. Now this is created by using redstone and an ender pearl on, and that will give you 2 of them, and that takes 240,000 RF. I'm just going to turn that off. I've got a few of them right now. I've got 22 of them. And then you take these, so let me just take one of each. And then you come over here to your integration table. You put your basic gate in the middle, your pulsating chipset on the top, and that will automatically begin working on this. I don't know how much energy it takes to do this. Let's see, what does it say? 25,000 RF. And there we go. We have one basic gate completed. A basic pulsating gate, I should say, or an autarkic gate. And then you just put them wherever you need to replace your engines, and then you can set them up to do whatever it needs. Like in the garden here, I took out all of the wooden engines that we had, and these are all been replaced with the autarkic gates. You can see it there. And this is set so that if there's anything in this chest, then it will do a pulse. It will do a continuous pulse until this chest is empty and put everything into the lines below. So I did that with all 9 of these out here. So that's been replaced. I still need to do the one that's underneath the mob farm there, and the one that's the 2 that are downstairs in those. But I wanted to show you how we make these gates. All right, let me go sleep real quick and I'll be right back with you. All right, so let's get back into doing some mechanism here. So let's go into our book, and we need to go to chapter 14. How the World Enhances. Let's open that up. Now we created our this thing, metallurgic infuser in the last episode, and with that you're able to infuse into special things such as oh, hang on a moment, I got some of these over here. I made some up just so that we'd have things to work with, but in there we've created these enriched alloys, and this is one piece of redstone with 1 piece of iron in there will give you 1 enriched alloy. It will also do enriched iron. Now this is 3 pieces of coal and 1 piece of iron will give you enriched iron. And that was able to create some of the other things that we're going to be making. You can see some of this stuff up here. But let's start off over here, and we'll take a look in our book, and we want to look at the first thing, which is power store. Now that you've got the capability or the capacity to create more complex technologies, it would be nice to have a reservoir of power stored up. Creating an energy cube should be the solution to this problem. The first thing you should be looking to invest in would be the metallurgic infusers, which allow you to both produce steel more rapidly as well as start producing some of the more complex circuits you're going to need. So we need to make a basic energy cube, and that's going to give us an energy tablet and 8 basic control circuits. And these energy tablets are a pain in the neck to make. I've made a few of them already to get us to where we need to be. So let's take a look at the recipe for this. Now this is our basic energy cube, this is our advanced, this is the elite, and this is the ultimate. So we're going to be doing the basic, which is a basic control circuit, iron chipsets, 2 osmium ingots, a steel casing, 2 sheets of aluminum, and that energy tablet. So let's start off with the steel casing. That is 4 sheets of titanium, 4 refined steel ingots, and 1 osmium plate. So is this the right one where we're supposed to be starting at? I think I already showed you how to make the steel casings. Yeah, because we did it in that last one. So we're all right. I'm trying to remember where I'm at. Basic control circuits. Now these are 2 redstone chipsets, 2 osmium plates, a basic circuit board, and enriched iron. Now the basic circuit board is 1 piece of tin and 6 redstone inside a carpenter with some water, with a bucket of water, and that will make those. So let's see. Basic control circuit, 2 redstone chipsets, enriched iron, 2 osmium plates, and the chips. And that is Alright, so we're already set up. Is this it here? Yeah, this is it here. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained at the moment, but let's see if we can get this going. Our thing is over here, so that was this here, these two at the top, these two. That will give us our basic control circuit. Okay, so next thing we need is the iron chipset, which is iron and redstone in the laser thing there. That and the energy tablet. Now the energy tablet is 2 more basic control circuits, 2 enriched alloy, 2 iron chipsets, and 2 steel plates. Now is that in here? 2 steel plates. Yes. Okay. So let me go ahead and put this up here. There's that, and that. Let's see if we can remember how this went together, or we can look it up real quick. Let's look in our book. And that was an energy tablet. Okay, so 2 control circuits, 2 redstone. Let's see if we can get this. All right, so this. That. Okay, there we go. 1 energy tablet. Okay. Now we should have everything for this already, because I already made the extras of this stuff. So that should be everything in here. Yep. So let's go ahead and grab this. All right, let's come back over to our table. Let's just come in here. Basic energy cube. All right, and then we're going to do that, and there we go. We got our basic energy cube. Phew, what a rabbit hole. Now this, I am going to make a second one of these, and you'll see here in a moment. If we take a look in here, that's completed. Let's go ahead and claim our rewards. And then when we come back here, you see the next thing it wants us to do is getting a power up. And this, the basic energy cell holds a decent amount, but sometimes it's just a case of bigger being better. So why not give it a big upgrade? So they want us to take the basic energy cube and upgrade it all the way to an ultimate energy cube, which is going to be a task in itself. So if you remember in here, let's take a look at this. So this is our basic energy cube. And it even though it says here that it's a basic energy cube, in all of these, it's going to be whatever the previous level was. So we have to make our advanced, we need to make advanced control circuits, golden chipsets. We got the steel plates and that. We have to make yet another energy tablet, put the basic energy cube in the center of that, and then that will craft the advanced. And then you do the same thing. You take the advanced, put it in the center. Then you got elite control circuits with diamond chipsets, reinforced alloy, which is something different, osmium plates, and another energy tablet. And then you do the same thing to get up to ultimate. So that would be our elite with the ultimate control circuits, diamond chipsets, atomic alloy, and sheets of titanium, and an energy tablet. So I've got to start gathering all this stuff between episodes, because this takes a long time to do, and it'd be a lot easier if we had our AE system in place, but we don't. So we're kind of stuck with what we have at the moment, which is going downstairs and digging the stuff out of our stuff that we got down there. So let's see if I can hook this up or not. What I was thinking about, it might not work right away, but let's see if this will do it. Over here, where this line comes into the ground, thinking about knocking this out here, just a shadow, and putting our basic energy cube in there, and of course it looks like it's froze up on me. Hang on, I'll be right back with you. All right. Well, I don't really know what's going on. Every time I look at the energy cube, the computer freezes up. So I'm going to have to look into that, but I managed to get my way back over here, and we're just going to leave it alone. It looked like it was storing some energy in there, which is good. We just want to use that to, to kind of buffer the system in here while we're working on building the larger energy cube, which will take, a little while for me to get all that stuff together. Okay, so let's come back into our book. Go back into our chapter 14. And we're going to take a look at this one here, messing with configs. The basic wrench is all well and good, but for these new machines you've now got available, you're going to want something a little more precise. So we need to make a configurator. So yeah, let me take a look at that again real quick. Let's look in here, our recipe for it, and it's not showing up. Okay, so let's look at it this way. The configurator. All right, so there's our configurator, and that is 1 lapis, 1 stick, 2 enriched alloy, and an energy tablet. Okay, that is easy to make since we've already made all that stuff here. I've got it right here. All right. And let's come back over here and let's click on this. Click on that, and there we go. Now we've got our configurator. It looks like it needs to store energy to use it. So I'm going to have to figure out how that thing works, but let's go ahead and put that aside. Let's see, is there anything else in here? And that gives us 24 basic universal cables. All right, the next thing I want to do is this Energized Machinery. Now that you've got a solid power supply and a means to craft enhanced machinery, why not do exactly that, and in doing so help make things a bit more convenient for yourself? So we need to make an energized smelter, a crusher, and an enrichment chamber. And this is going to give us 4 steel casings and 10 basic controls. So back in here, energized smelter is 2 basic control circuits, a piece of glass, 2 osmium, a steel casing, 2 steel plates, and an iron chipset. So let's go ahead and come in here, and that should be all of this stuff here. And what did I grab extra? Probably the steel plates. Yep. And what was this thing again? Let me just go ahead and grab all this stuff because we're going to need it all for the other 2 as well. So back into the book. An energized smelter. And let's look that up. Energized smelter, and there we go. Let's go ahead and shift click on that. There we go, 1 energized smelter. All right, the next thing we need to make is the crusher. So let's take a look at that. That is 2 basic control circuits, 2 osmium, 1 iron chipset, 2 steel plates, a steel casing, and a lava bucket. So was the crusher. Shift click on that. There we go. There we got our crusher, and we got our bucket back. And the last piece here we needed was an enrichment chamber, and that is 2 basic control circuits, a quartz chipset, 2 osmium ingots, steel casing, 2 steel plates, and an iron chipset. Enrichment chamber. Our enrichment chamber. There we go. Shift click, and there we go. We have our enrichment chamber. Alright, so we will need to figure out what we need to do. So I want to put down the crusher because we're going to be using that for the next piece here. But let's go ahead and come back into here and let's see, is there anything else? No, let's go ahead and claim our reward on that. And that looks like it opened up a whole bunch more stuff in here that we're going to have to look into pretty soon. But the last thing I want to do is this up here. IMAG seeds. One final seed, a refinement of osmium seeds, has come to your attention and seems to be the path to unlock hidden powers within yourself. Sounds worthwhile investigating. So we need to make these IMAG seeds. So if we look at the recipe for that, these are actually made in the metallurgic infuser and require diamond dust. So we make the diamond dust in the crusher. So let's see, I've got diamonds here, so let me go ahead and grab that. I also have an osmium seed here as well. Put this in the crusher. And do I need to, is this thing not working? Side config, let's see. Energy. Let me sleep real quick and I'll take a look at this and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so it seems as though we didn't have any energy coming through when I put that thing down. It just kind of knocked everything out. So I just put some cabling around the energy cube to bypass it for the time being. And I came back here and our crusher was going off and we made our diamond dust. But that's all there is to it. We got a diamond here. We'll go ahead and make another one. Just for the sake of it. Put that in there. And there we go, diamond dust. And then we're going to come to our metallurgic infuser, which is right here. Put our diamond dust in there with our osmium seed. Need more than that. Might need more than that. So it's 20. Did it say in there? Let's look at that recipe. It doesn't tell me how much I need. Alright, so let me see what I need to do here. Let me get a few more diamonds. Let's try 4 of them. Get these crushed up and I'll be right back with you. Alright, I got them, those 4 crushed up. Let's try this again. Let's put another 1 in there. Is that enough? 2. My goodness, how much does it need? Is a metallurgic infuser, alright? Yeah, metallurgic infuser. Does that thing have to be completely filled? Oh, that's an expensive seed. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and complete that process between episodes, and then we'll get that planted and growing. And yeah, because it's going to take a while. I'm just going to go ahead and toss all these diamonds in there and just let them do their thing and see what it takes to get this going. Well, that's it for this episode. I'm sorry it was such a mess. Nothing seemed to be going right for us tonight. But we did get a few things done, and we're moving more towards the mechanization stuff that we need to do. So, until next time, this is Desert Rat. Have a good one. Goodbye.